Right, we are officially live on Facebook page. Can get man bulisa ku when I'm pulapuli namthandi we Keith Ngas Radio Ngakubi KNR Drive 3 to 6 Ikamalam Ningusibusiso Wakompofu known as Buddha Mabuddha the Buddhas many out here right grand Mjojo and another thing the only bachelor in town can get namhlanje it is a Thursday where we bring you yet another exciting edition of Reddit Thursday where we get to be uncles and aunts apostnata kona anonymous can get namhlanje I am not flying solo I am with ukuhle kwakunye naye pha ulizo kanti ke manibuyise pha kuye kaloku usiphoza kunjani
hey ngibulisa wakho ndiyaphila njani
kaloku siku live ngokufuneka ulisile na ngapha
yeah but I understand you I got a great
yes
yabonakala what
no I'm super I'm good
super
yeah great kanti ke Liza
hi Sue
unjani
I'm good, how are you?
Good utheni wazicutha kangaka ivoice namhlanje
Hi, John.
She seems tired. She seems tired.
What do you mean tired of what?
I mean, it's Thursday.
I came
here
at
like in the morning
around 8.
Kusekhona ngomso guys.
Exactly.
Sungama suvuma. Dino, right? Okay, again, without wasting it, let's just pause. I want us to go to our story namhlanje pha fonini ba uthini anonymous so that we can get to hear his story sakhe.
It's 5 minutes after 4 o'clock. Okay. It reads as follows. My teacher accused us of watching inappropriate content. I, 16-year-old, was in English class yesterday, and after a lesson, the teacher made us do a would you rather as a fun exercise. But the experience was nowhere near fun. Literally, the first question was, would you rather have all your search history, including deleted and incognito, or have no internet at all? I could already feel the uncomfortable feeling in the room. Before we could even answer, she accused us of watching 18+ explicit content.
Wow.
And calling us very bad children. And that our parents are no good at parenting if we chose the no internet option. Her voice was literally so loud, she was yelling. I could already see the uncomfortable faces inside the room. Me and some other kid chose the internet option, though it doesn't automatically mean we search inappropriate stuff. And the teacher humiliated us both, individually in front of the class. She asked if I was a bad girl and doing naughty things. Speaking to me like I'm a 6-year-old, I said no, and she forced me and the rest of the students to choose the make your search history public option. Since then, I've been feeling very unsafe in that class, and she acted similarly to the other questions as well. I obviously find this very inappropriate for a teacher, and just automatically bringing up 18+ explicit content in a school setting is inappropriate. I got so shook, I literally emailed directly the principal. Wow. Anonymous. Yes, it is no. Can you hear or understand
Cool, anonymous. Lisa, as someone I do know not so long ago, you were in high school, and those one of the exercises you'd find every now and then, and the system education system changes every now and then, so mhlambe zizinto ezikhoyo right now kwi-syllabus ezo, and are there any lessons ufaniseke ubuzifundile wayophuma esikolweni whereby you're like I am at least noko andikho le into bekusuppose siyayifunda okanye mhlambi siyayenza apha esikolweni?
I think from my school, I think they were strictly professional. So if, let's say, we sifundi LO, you would find that maybe kwi LO on a subject that would speak more about sexual intercourse, because maybe in the textbook they would make us aware of the fact that certain things might happen along the road, so they teach us to use protection as we grow older and stuff like that, and to prevent STDs, STIs and whatever. Yeah, well, it would be more educational, more than it would be like an open conversation about explicit content. You'd find that good life science, they just teach you about body parts strictly. Not in any of my classes that I felt like some of my teachers were just like talking about explicit content. No, even when we were in grade 12, like they didn't feel more comfortable now all of a sudden just because some of us are 18 and we're like in the, the appropriate age to do zithile yabo, they weren't really like this. Yeah, bebefundisa into eyiyo basically. So I wouldn't say I relate or resonate with this type of content now.
Well, Sposa?
Okay. I think Anonymous is only 16. Let's start there. Anonymous is only 16.
Yes.
And here in South Africa, laws change every day. While we were growing up, we were used to be told that the age for you to start having a sexual intercourse is 18. But things changed.
Yes.
The right age now. I'm not andiniki umntana omncinci enze loo nto, but the age of consent now is 16. So maybe the teacher thought since the age of consent now is 16, it's okay for her to come in class and talk about such content.
Yes.
Which is, I wouldn't say it's, yeah, but as much as I said it's inappropriate, it's now that I realize that the age of consent is 16, but not in school. But I don't know, syllabus changes every time. But as far as I know, they're still using CAPS, which is the syllabus that we used to be taught with NATU.
As updated.
Yes, as updated, but as updated, because now I'm grade 10. Because I think umntwana 16 grade 10 or grade 9.
Yeah.
Between those two grades. I don't think by that time now we used to discuss explicit content. It's because us, sasindwebileke, sisakhula, uzana yobhanga. You don't bring it inside the school.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit inappropriate and unprofessional for a professional teacher to bring that up. Because if you say 18 plus content to people that are 16. It's actually a no and a red flag for a teacher that is professional, that is says registered, and is kushiwo wavunywa kodwa wena unguba kanti ufundisa abantwana, because I'm sure even at school, even in university, in higher learning institutions, when they are being lectured on the course or on the Nancy course that they are doing or qualification that they are doing, they show bazikhona mhlambi ethics that are being taught kubo into kokuba umntwana, now that you are busy when uzaba ku senior phase, this is what you should do emntaneni. You should not deal nomntana ngendlela kanje. Now that uzaba ku foundation, now that uzaba ku intermediate, njalo njalo. So I think it was very much inappropriate for a teacher to actually be discussing such content with nomntana.
Wow. And the fact that she is only 16 years of age, but she feels good, you know what, this was inappropriate, and the fact that teacher kind of project izinto to abantwana, not knowing, not have taken any cell phone yomntwana pe classini at, okay, for example, I looked with cell phone ka so and so, this is what I found, and abantwana, we need to understand that they are coming from different backgrounds. You might find out low who's strict to go. That's why she decided even to stood up for her own, and I escalated the matter to the principal's office apo at, you know what, because I feel like right now ngathi kuthethwa nomuntu on a 6-year-old even though dina 16 and I know what is right. I think we need, as much you are in a position whereby you educating people, but you also need to understand that the same people you are educating, they are coming from families where they are also being educated by parents zabo ngezinye izinto, which is you'd feel like zizinto that we need to talk about nabantwana bethu. We cannot pretend as if zizinto esingathethiyo, and especially now that usitsho siphila kula maxesha siphila kuwo, imithetho iyachinja. And if you do not talk nabantwana bakho ngezo zinto, obviously the world is going to teach them ukuthi, okay, at 16 you're supposed to be doing this, at 17 you're supposed to be doing this, so zezinye zezinto as much as utishala enalilungelo lomfundisi umntana, but xa noko ezinye zezinto zingahlali kakuhle emntaneni and awukwazi kaloku umntana vele umgqibela uthi no u-ABCD uyamenza without i-proof ba umntana uyamenza. You need to be sure ba uthetha ngento onokwazi naxa usemzekelo principal ebuya back to kuwe eclassini esithi tishala ubani okanye umisi ubani umntana so came to my office saying when you are accusing him or her of this, and then now when I proof it, no, I ndiyithathile ifoni zabo nazi izinto abazijongayo. That's why I was doing this exercise, simply because I've noticed that abantwana bayazenza izinto. Okanye mhlambi ufaniseke umuntu uthathe into ayibona ngaphandle ebantwaneni bakhe endlini, now uyizisa esikolweni thinking ukuthi womntana okula age group uyayenza lento. You know, sibakhona izando zinjiya, but ke I also like the fact mna lo mntana stood up for herself, you know, because babi ngomnye umuntu benezovela nje ahlale athi, you know what, in fact angahlale, instead of mhlawumbe aqale abone inneed yoba okay, let me go start.
What's the big deal about this?
Yes.
You see, what's the big deal about this? More especially if we talk about, you know, I always say this, this new generation of teachers, they are good when it comes to their teaching. We understand and we know that, we acknowledge that, we appreciate that. But I think the new generation of teachers is not like a teacher as it was asifundisa thina kudala.
Yes.
Not that I'm trying to bandohlula omnye komnye, but i-teachers zethu zakudala, they were very much careful when they are teaching. Akhona babelumkela ngathi mhlawumbe ukwenza into okanye mhlawumbe athethe into ezakwenza uzive ingathi uthini na. You see, they would see you and bakwazi ukubizela ecaleni abakudala into yokuba moya especially ixesha lethu ubizela ecaleni when there is something that is inappropriate about you bakuxelele. But now we live in a very much, I don't know, man, ngathi kuthotywe icingo kuthiwa kuntsibe yonke into, because now even if you see something that is inappropriate, umntana has a right to say, no, I won't do this. You see, so as much as nathi we had those rights, we couldn't exercise them because instillwa ukuthi engqondweni into yokuba you should respect a teacher. Now that kuthiwa you should respect a teacher comes kwaba bangoku babambe eza rights izinto yokuba andinokwazi mhlawumbe uthetha nomntana ngendlela ekanje, mandimyeke lo mntana xa ekanje, of which I think somehow we need to fix that.
Yes.
We need to fix that. Abantwana funeka bekanti bayalungiseka because we see a lot of things that are happening. We have so much high level of teenage pregnancy. I think Eastern Cape is ranking 4 nationally when it comes to teenage pregnancy. So there's zinto zikanjena, because I once received a message of someone I know, into yoba kuthiwa bebalisi ba umntana kwabo was only 12 when she was told that umntana kwabo was seen busy and at school with a boy and whatsoever, and now he literally had to actually go to school ayosabela into yokuba kwenze ntoni, only kumntana ona 12 who's busy doing grade 7. So you see those kind of things, uyabo kude ngoku kufuneka kubizwe abazali bizwe intoni, ofishe ixesha lethu we were always reprimanded. Uyayibona kwalapha, then you see that uqonda kusawuxela umamakho, you become scared because woyika bani, woyika kwa umamakho lo.
I think also into iqala endlini.
Yes.
I don't think we can always blame teacher okanye or whatever, because you don't really know what actually goes on at school. We can say in this about my teacher was wrong, but into iqala endlini, because she could have easily done something about Lando, as you've said, but because she knows the morals zakazitichwe kokwabo, she decided to report it.
Yes.
Omnye umntana because engahoywanga mhlambi kokwabo, he or she feels alone, so kune free time, uye umntana be curious, and I think abanye abantwana learn through izinto abazibonayo on their everyday lives. You spend most of your time at home more than you spend your time at school.
Yes.
Because even though you go to school every weekdays, you come back home and you spend the rest of the hours at home.
Yes.
So I think also it does have to do with environment wena uhlala kuyo, yabo.
And even parents that do not respect abantwana, you
Yeah.
can't intimate in front of them and think it's okay for them if ever iroom yakhe is just uhlula ludonga nomntwana, then they do into zabantu abadala and all that. And then ufumanisa umntana uyafuna ukwazi uba yintoni le mhlawumbi iyanenzeke ngapha. You see, so hence I always say that in terms of people, when people there abantu kabanemali, when people there are buying houses, they need to see house plan abazonantsika nendlela abazokwenza ngayo abantwana, because abazokwenza ngayo abantwana bangabi nayo into yoba mhlawumbi bave i-conversation yabo or whatsoever that is actually happening, because some of us we grew up ungani wakwenzeke ntoni umama akho ehamba wayolala notatakho. Mna ke I never lived with mama notata. I always lived with umama yedwa, always lived with umama yedwa, but in all that I used to know that in the lala le dining room there is a kitchen, there is then lala luputele kunam I could so it goes with parents as well. they should plan into about, okay, abantwana bethu must not be exposed to anything that is happening. Anything that is happening cannot only be sexual intercourse, even conversations. You see, even conversations that we are having with your partner, ingxabano and everything, you must not expose umntana in such, because
private. My parents, but mama mzava ngaye ngixelela uba last week mna notata akho besine disagreement into ethile ube ungayiboni nawe phambi kwakho, because they speak about things that concern them bobabini without having to let us see into enjeyana. Let us experience our own type of like relationship experience ngokwethu, instead of putting that thing that we saw through abazali bethu into our own relationships that we end up creating.
Yes. But you know, there's something both you guys just mentioned, right? You know, you mentioned something about teachers back then who taught us there was a huge age difference. You know, right now you find that umtu upuma high school varsity and won't go to study, you know, by tishala simply because imisebenzi ayikho. In order for you bekanti yaphangela, it's either uzoba police or uzoba tishala uzoba nurse most of the time right now. So you find the age gap between ababantu right now. Utishala high school, it's someone omfifaniseka mhlawumbe noma umshiya nge3 years lo mntu amtichayo okanye nge4 years. So ezinye zezinto they get to see them, we bump into them kwindawo zokusocializer, you know, and now it's going to be a challenge here at school, because you might find out umfundi unento yaziyo ngotishala, you know, and you'll be like, no, there's no way I can respect you, tishala, you know. But as much as angasoza ayicho say it out and loud, but fancy, you know what, as basis esihamba kuzo zokusocializer siyagilana nezi students.
Exactly, indeed. Udibana notishala ekhethi ngesipub and grill, uyayibona loo nto leyo.
You know,
you see, so how must I respect you, teacher, kodwa sidibana ekhethi ngesipub and grill?
Classmates.
Okanye mhlawumbe not even a classmate, but let's say for umntana kwi-age group ebehamba naye, for example, xa ebheka ngapha ebathroom mhlawumbe umzekelo nakutitsha, uyayibona loo nto. So those are kind of things, and ke lokhu utitsha bengazingonwabi. It's just that abantwana bangoku baleqa izinto ezingabafuniyo, like the way mna I think I started going out at the age of 21. Not because mhlawumbe ndandingafuni, I wanted, but laa nto uqonda uba sometimes uhlala endlini engeyo ngakuwenu. Now I had that thing of, okay, let me respect people that are here, but ngaphakathi kum iitshomi zam ndiyaziya ko-pens down. I want to do this. I got into varsity and had my own money to even start doing those kind of things. You see, but abantwana bangoku abazali bayabapha abantwana imali. Nam ngondinga kumama uyandipha imali. So sensitsho abantwana bangoku they actually do go out nabazali nansi ngemali abazinikwe ngomama babo. Mhlawumbe umnika bakhamba uyofuna ibhlukwe e-shop, yayibo. Hamba uyofuna ibhlukwe, akambe uyofuna ethile. La mali la mntana aqonda, no man, you know what, ndihamba ndiyolasa koLiza, siyahamba nge-weekend siye endaweni ethile. You see?
Mnake mnandi bekusendibethwele uba ndingumntu oyoyikayo. Hayi ndiyazoyika mna izinto, andithanda uzileqa izinto because ndiyayazi what could potentially happen on the outside. Ndiyoyika, ndingumntu oyoyikayo mna into ngaphandle.
I think it also goes back to lana besithetha about kokwenu, what is it that they are teaching you, you know, indlela okhuliswe ngayo, you know. Most people, they will tell you that, you know what, ndiphuma kwikhaya so, and then without even sometimes telling uba ndiphuma kwikhaya so, just by seeing character yakho, they can be able to tell ukuthi lo uphuma kwikhaya so, lo uphuma kwikhaya so, you know, simple because ezinye izinto apha elifini you decided to be, you know what, no man, mandilandele izimfundiso zasekhaya ndingazileqi ezinye izinto. But in conclusion, ndiyafuna ukuva kuwe Sposa or Anonymous sitting in conclusion.
Now, in conclusion, Anonymous, if you are listening today, thank you so much for taking the courage of coming forward with such, because it's one of the most challenging things we find in Tokokba. Abantwana actually practicing some things, and then we think that mhlawumbe sistrato that has done that kanti umuntu mhlawumbe izinto ezifana nesi.
Yes.
And they didn't do anything about it. So it's much appreciated that what you have done. But moving forward, Anonymous, may you know that someone judging you of something ongayaziyo doesn't mean that yenze okanye uyenzile. People have their own problems and they are likely to project them kwabanye abantu.
Yes.
But here we are talking about a professional teacher. So I think next time it's you can just sit down politely with the teacher umxelele, not even a teacher, but omnye umuntu mhlawumbi uyawuza kwenza uzive olo hlobo olo. Sit down with them, tell them how you feel, and tell them how you don't know any of the things that actually happened to you. I'm so sorry for what happened to you. May you find right and actually uqhubeke having good morals, having respect for yourself, and never practice anything wakawifundiswa kweni. I'm done.
Right. Okay, yeah, yes, vela power when I'm pulling namtani with Keith. Yes, ready to get that was our Reddit story galoko apo anonymous esicha corner SCT. My teacher accused us of watching inappropriate content. She is only 16 years of age. City in an English class yesterday, and after a lesson, the teacher made us do a would you rather as a fun exercise, but the experience was nowhere near fun. They felt accused of, but you know what, if nobody mabaye park go search Chrome Google Chrome, the search bar kangele izinto abazisearchayo, you might find out content abayijongayo pa ephone zizinto as explicit, but ke into yabonakala pha ku anonymous khange ihlale kamnandi kuyele to a point where we escalate to the principal's office, right? Which is, we always condone people who stood up for what they believe it is right and wrong for them, right? We are closing right now our live part on Facebook page. You can always continue to comment part on Facebook page where to Keith Ngesa Radio. We will definitely be reading your comments live out on air. Ricardo will start showing some love about Uhleli Nati no zingi sa delichana na city Uhleli Nati. Right now we close